Good evening and thanks for joining us. This is your forecast first. Well, a very sultry weather pattern heading into this weekend, Father's Day. Very humid out there as we'll get those feel-like temperatures in the upper 90s and even near triple digits. We hit that mark this afternoon. We did have a couple showers out there and a couple of them on the strong side with a little bit of lightning and heavy rainfall. We'll detail your entire weekend forecast coming up after the break. Local 33 News at 6 starts right now.
And coming up, a rainbow of colors. People across Baton Rouge come together as the mayor officially proclaims it Pride Day in the city.
And remembering Coach Rod at Baton Rouge High School saying goodbye tonight to a track coach whose death came far too soon. And a good evening to you at 6 o'clock. I'm Harrison Golden.
And I'm Kellyanne Bailey. Thank you for joining us for NBC Local 33 News.
We do start now happening now if you want to cross the Mississippi River Bridge. Well, the new bridge is not the way to go.
According to the DOTD cameras, and I apologize that we don't have those to bring to you at this moment, crews are working. 2 crashes there. One is eastbound on the bridge. At least 1 lane is going to be closed. And then in West Baton Rouge Parish, there are reports of a second crash involving an 18-wheeler. Traffic is being forced to exit near LA 415. You want to stay with NBC Local 33, and we'll have Jesse bring you some additional updates throughout the broadcast. And we turn now to some breaking news. 1 person is dead following an ATV crash in West Baton Rouge Parish this afternoon.
And a sheriff's office spokesperson tells us the man's 61-year-old James Major Jr. Authorities say his body was found off Lobdell Highway in Port Allen at around 2 p.m. this afternoon. Investigators say he was found near the Cash's Truck Stop Casino. That story as well still developing. And of course, you're encouraged to call the West Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office with any kind of information about this crash. That number, area code 225-343-9234.
And today in Baton Rouge, Mayor Sharon Weston Broome did declare it officially Pride Day across the city for the LGBTQ community.
And a festival this afternoon headlined Baton Rouge's running celebration of Pride Month. NBC Local 33's Kennedy Walker met some parade goers who say they were happy to just express themselves.
Yesterday, the River Center was filled with rainbow as thousands of people came out to celebrate Baton Rouge's 13th annual Pride Festival.
It's more than just a festival. It's really a place for everybody to come and be their true self, to be authentic to who they are, a safe place without needing to worry about, oh, I kissed my partner in public. You can.
Tutus, flags, and stickers were just some of what people were sporting today to show their love and support at this year's Pride Festival.
I honestly love it. Everyone's just like really positive and kind and welcoming.
This was the 5th year that it was held at the River Center, but for some people it was their first time coming.
I'm here to support my friends. She recently came out.
This year's Grand Marshal is Aaron Moak. Though he says he attends a lot of Pride events, this is the first time he is the Grand Marshal.
I didn't know what to say. I was speechless.
He says that one thing that makes Baton Rouge Pride stand out from the rest is that it is extremely kid-friendly.
I go to a lot of different Pride events all over the place, but this one here is specifically set up to be a family-friendly event.
Coming out later in life, he says that he feels grateful that he can finally be who he is. Bringing his partner and his sons with him, they all say they couldn't be more proud.
I love everything about him.
I'm there to support him. Through everything.
Aaron says that he loves being a Grand Marshal and that he will continue to support the community. For NBC Local 33, I'm Kennedy Walker.
Kennedy, thank you so much. Baton Rouge High School tonight remembering a track and field coach who made a big impact in his short time there. Carlos Rodriguez only started at Cristo Rey High School this past fall and quickly won the nickname Coach Rod. This 36-year-old died yesterday after drowning at a Destin, Florida beach, where he was vacationing with his girlfriend at the time. On Facebook, Cristo Rey faculty remembering his energy on the track field. The school has yet to announce any memorial arrangements. Happening now, East Baton Rouge Parish leaders are still accepting claims for storm damage, but that deadline fast approaching. The forms are due out this Monday. City parish leaders are providing those damage assessment forms after the community experienced heavy flooding and tornadoes last week. Those forms are available online and at all East Baton Rouge Parish libraries. You can find that information by downloading our free Be Our Proud app.
And turning now to another traffic alert. Drivers along I-10 may experience a lane shift as crews work to widen the road. The shift in lanes does happen on I-10 West near Blue Bayou Water Park at the Highland Road exit. Louisiana's Department of Transportation says, and I apologize, it looks like we don't have the right video for this one. They say that this project should ease traffic congestion once it's complete. Starting on Monday, the Highland Road exit is going to be closed in both directions as part of DOTD's On the Go project. Now, if you'd like to plan your route beforehand, we've posted detour routes on our free BR Proud app. And nearly 200,000 drivers across Louisiana are getting a price reduction for car insurance. State Insurance Commissioner Jim Donelon approved a filing by Progressive Insurance Company for a 2.2% rate decrease. This decrease is going to apply to drivers who are newly enrolled as well as those who are renewing their insurance. The change in price is expected to take effect late this summer.
Well, better plumbing could be on the way for homes rattled by sewage woes, and homeowners have an environmental protection grant to thank. The EPA is providing nearly $700,000 for fixing home sewage systems in the Bayou Lafourche watershed. Donaldsonville, Thibodaux, Raceland, Matthews, and Lockport all make up that watershed. The grant will cover repair costs up to $1,000 each for 200 homes.
And tensions between the U.S. and Iran are rising as the two countries finger point for who's responsible about an attack on two tanks in the Persian Gulf. ABC's chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel reports from Istanbul.
Tonight, the U.S. and Iran are trading accusations and escalating their rhetoric over who attacked two tankers in the Persian Gulf. The U.S. military released what could be damning evidence, aerial reconnaissance video, which U.S. officials say shows Iranian sailors removing an unexploded mine from one of the attacked tankers, apparently to hide Iran's involvement. And this photo showing where the alleged mine was placed. President Trump called in to Fox News to say the Iranians were caught red-handed.
Well, Iran did do it, and you know they did it because you saw the boat. I guess one of the mines didn't explode, and it's probably got essentially Iran written all over it.
But the Japanese owner of one of the tankers insists his vessel was attacked not by a mine, but some kind of fast-moving explosive, which is how rescue ships first reported the attacks.
All station. Motor tanker front Altair in fire, most probably torpedo attack.
Iran says it was not involved. NBC's Ali Arouzi is in Tehran.
Iran is ruling out any talks with the U.S., blaming America for seriously threatening stability in the region. With so much animosity and an absence of dialogue, the odds of conflict by accident is increasing every day.
Tonight, tensions remain high. A U.S. military official said Iran was preventing tugboats from recovering one of the tankers. And there's another source of tension, drones. The U.S. military doesn't talk about it much, but there are a lot of drones flying around this part of the world, and officials tell us there were two incidents in recent days. One in which an Iranian-backed militia shot down an American drone over the Red Sea, and another in which Iranians fired on but missed an American drone. Richard Engel, NBC News, Istanbul.
Richard Engler, thank you so much. Now to a consumer alert tonight as a widespread outage causes long lines at Target stores. Target executives say a system issue, they call it, affected their customers. Customers took to social media complaining the registers were not working at more than a dozen Target locations. What caused that outage still remains unclear tonight, but Target's top managers say they're, quote, working as quickly as possible to get this all fixed.
Well, we're less than 24 hours away from Father's Day, and Americans this year are expected to spend a record-breaking amount honoring Dad and other father figures. According to the National Retail Federation, total spending for the holiday is estimated to reach an all-time high of $16 billion. The average person is expected to spend $139 on Dad this year. The most popular gifts for Dad, well, they include steaks, going to see a ball game, and of course, a cold beer. And mission complete. A man who mowed Louisiana lawns has done the same in 49 other states. We'll take you inside his journey coming up next on ABC Local 33 News. Well, it was a solemn moment at a historic French cathedral church as people celebrated the first Mass since a very large fire. Clergymen and parishioners could be seen wearing hard hats as they held a service today at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. It's the first one since the fire ravaged the building back in April. The service was also live streamed for those who weren't allowed inside for security reasons. Authorities do say that the building structure is still fragile, especially with its ceiling, which is at risk of now collapsing.
A little closer to home, an Alabama man completing his mission of mowing lawns for senior veterans in all 50 states. Ronnie Smith Jr. tweeted out he's heading home after cutting grass in Hawaii. Hawaii was his very last state on his list and was only possible thanks to Delta Airlines, who covered the cost for his flight there. You may recall Smith stopped by back here in Baton Rouge back in February as part of his mission. Smith says he will continue providing free lawn care to the elderly, disabled, single mothers, and veterans in Alabama.
What about the people who don't like the heat?
I was like, don't like the heat, get out of the street?
Yeah.
No? So.
I cut my lawn today and it was awful out there. I cut it midday. That was my fault, I guess.
It was a little bit hotter today than we've seen the past like 48 hours.
It really has. And yes, it really, compared to what we saw this last week where it was really comfortable out there, yeah, when you factor that humidity back in the picture, we had heat indices around 100 and even above this afternoon in some spots. And guess what? It's not going anywhere anytime soon. So we've got a hot Father's Day ahead of us with highs sitting in the lower 90s, heat indices upper 90s, and near 100 tomorrow afternoon. The only saving grace, a few afternoon showers. We'll be right back after the break.
Now, your Storm Tracker team forecast with Jesse Gunkel.
Welcome back. Well, as you take a look at your live tower cam outside, if you notice, we've got a few clouds out there, but it was a very sultry afternoon, very oppressive out there as we had those feel-like temperatures for a lot of areas hit triple digits, around 100 to 101 out there. Even for us, we're still sitting at 94. We kind of dodged a lot of that rain. However, off in the distance, you see a couple clouds out there. A lot of those storms are starting to slide their way into South Mississippi. So, again, a long way away from the downtown area, but those storms are driving towards the northeast. And right now, we've got those winds out of the southwest at about 13 miles per hour. Today, 92 was your official daytime high, putting us 1 degree above normal. We started out very mild at 72 degrees. And obviously, the big difference today was all that sunshine and all that humidity. And when you put that all back into the algorithm, guess what? You output something that's very oppressive, very humid, and again, just not too comfortable during the afternoon. Not much is really going to change over the next couple of days as we're kind of stuck in that summer rut. Officially, officially summer arrives on Friday, and that's when we'll see maybe a short break, but otherwise, again, it's all about the potential rain that hopefully cools us off during those afternoon hours. I still think we're going to be dominated by a lot of sunshine. We had those storms kind of lip through the area. Just showing you a little bit of a closer shot. Right now in the downtown area, we are dry, and even further south, a little bit of a sea breeze here. It kind of fired off a couple of those thunderstorms, and the only pocket of concern right now in southern Mississippi with some lightning, some gusty winds, maybe in that 30 to 35 category, along with the chance for some quick periods of heavy rainfall. But exactly when that sun sets, well, we're going to lose a lot of that heating out there, and then our temperatures begin to fall. So take a look at your future cast. We'll start out dry on Father's Day. By the time we head into the afternoon hours, we'll get a little bit of heat out there. Look for a couple of storms to kind of pop going through the afternoon. Heading into your Monday, same scenario. I think more coverage. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the region. And then by the time we roll into Tuesday, again, about a 30 to 40% chance for some afternoon rain. I also want to point out that we do sit, or at least portions of the viewing area, under a marginal risk for severe weather. That's tomorrow afternoon. That's spotty storms. We're talking during the afternoon hours that could produce a little bit of heavy rainfall, some small hail. We're talking in the pea-size category, along with some gusty winds. Sunday, again, look for a few spotty storms. Rain chances climb heading into early next week. Slightly drier by the time we get to about Wednesday and Thursday. Your mowcast out there, I just want to point out that if you are going to be cutting that lawn, try to do it during the morning hours, because each and every afternoon those storms will begin to pop. Headline-wise, hot and uncomfortable over the next couple of days. We're going to look for some scattered storms over the next 3 days, but then after that, it is a drier pattern. We continue to be pretty quiet out there over the next 5 days out in the Atlantic. 72 degrees out there, mainly clear, mild, and muggy. And here is that extended forecast for the next 3. We've got highs sitting in the lower 90s and upper 80s. Overnight lows mid-70s. A little relief out there. Feel like temperatures near 100 out there. A few scattered storms. And then heading into the rest of the week, a little bit drier. First day of summer, well, it starts out pretty hot at 91. We'll be right back.
One word, Omaha. In college baseball, the ultimate goal is to get to Omaha, Nebraska for the College World Series, where you compete against the top 8 teams in the country. It's the greatest show on dirt, and day 1 is underway as Texas Tech takes on Michigan in Game 1 at TD Ameritrade. Michigan was one of the last 4 teams to get into the tournament, and it's been 35 years since the Wolverines won in Omaha. The Big Blue light up the scoreboard first with runners on first and second with 2 outs. Jimmy Kerr laces the ball down the first base line. It gets into the corner for an RBI triple, sending Jesse Franklin and Jordan Brewer home. Michigan takes an early 3-0 lead. The Wolverines, they aren't done yet. Blake Nelson hits a blooper to left. Kerr gets across the dish. It's an RBI single for Nelson. 4-zip Big Blue. Tim Tadlock and his Texas Tech Red Raiders putting up a fight. In the bottom of the frame, Brian Klein goes down and gets one. He airmails one to right for a 2-run bomb, and Texas Tech cuts the lead to 2. But Michigan, they add to their lead in the 7th, and Josh Young is just off the mark for the first baseman, and Michigan holds off Texas Tech with a final score of 5-2. Game 2 just got started against Arkansas, squaring off against Florida State. There we go. It's currently scoreless in the first. Here's the lineup for Day 2 at the College World Series. Vanderbilt facing off against Louisville in Game 1. Then it's a battle of the SEC with Mississippi State and Auburn in the nightcap. And again, that's tomorrow. The latest out of New Orleans, Anthony Davis is headed to the other LA. According to ESPN, the Pelicans agreed to trade AD to the Lakers for Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Josh Hart, and 3 first-round draft picks. It shouldn't be a surprise, but it would have been fun watching Davis and Zion Williamson play together in the Crescent City. The New Orleans Saints minicamp wrapped up this week, and Sharif Ishak has more on Teddy Bridgewater filling in for Drew Brees.
Saw the return of a very familiar face, and that would be number 9, Drew Brees. He was missing in action last week during OTAs, wrapping up his testimony in San Diego. And while he was out, Teddy Bridgewater was getting some run with the first team. It's something Bridgewater calls very valuable.
When you get your opportunity, you just want to go in there and try to pick up right where Drew left off. Of course, none of us here are Drew or is Drew, but we all have unique skill sets, and whenever our opportunity comes to get out there with those guys, we try to make the best of it.
And as Bridgewater completes a full off season, he feels pretty good where he stands right now.
Just going out there and operating, getting in and out of the huddle, establishing tempo, chemistry with the guys up front, the guys out wide catching passes, the guys in the backfield. Just being on the same pitch with those guys. And it's the spring right now. We have guys coming in and out, so it's just been a fun opportunity for me to be a coach on the field as well.
And Bridgewater's getting some high praise from Sean Payton, as the head coach of the Black and Gold said he has the right demeanor for the position.
I try to stay even keel. It's never too high, never too low. So hopefully that's what he means. I just feel like when you play this position, you have to be the eye of the hurricane. When everything around you is going wild and running like a fire drill, you have to be the one that's calm and cool.
And during his time with the media, Bridgewater was asked if he can be a starter in this league. Bridgewater smiled and said, definitely, with confidence. In Metairie, Sharif Ishak, WDSU News.
Thanks so much, Sharif. Going back to New Orleans and the Pelicans, I know nobody was surprised, but it really makes me sad because I would have loved to see Zion and AD play together. It would have been a great duo, but he had to go to the other LA.
Well, you know why? Because Kentucky and Duke, not friends at all on the court. So I'm not really sure how that would have gone down. So AD headed to the West Coast. Good luck to him.
LA to LA. All right, folks, back in a moment. Stay with us. taking one last check of the weather, Jesse.
Well, who's excited to have all the heat and humidity back? Not a lot of smiling faces.
Crickets. Crickets.
Well, it's back and it ain't going anywhere anytime soon, folks. As you see over here, the next couple of days, our highs will sit in the lower 90s. That's pretty average, but you got to factor in that humidity, and that's why feel-like temperatures are going to approach triple digits during the afternoon. Each and every afternoon, there is the possibilities for some rain, so let's just hope for that.
All right, get ready, Jesse.
Thanks for joining us, Jesse.
All right, folks, we're back at 10 o'clock. We'll see you then.
In the meantime, check out our BR Proud News app for all the latest updates.